When we're on a battlefield, it's called the fog of war. And the battle noise can be nothing. Silence and wind with a pop in the background. And it was pretty much it. It can be calming, and at a change of a second, it's horrific. As we were walking through the Chura Valley to get to the creek or the river, you're carrying your heavy load, you've got your weapon, you're looking out, you're trying to listen to the radio communication that's coming through. It was getting hot, my goggles started fogging up, my head started to pound, and I was sweating, so I took my goggles and helmet off, and then I just kept going about my procedure. As I was talking or going through and trying to expose this main charge of the IED, I was always talking to my number two, who was off to my left, Warren. But you know, you're nice and calm, everything's going good, you know, you got a few choppers in the background, you're with your mates, nice tranquil day, you hear the wind and breeze, like what you think is the wind and breeze. It's sudden. As it detonated, it actually blew me a metre or two back. And then I heard, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And then there's all that chatter in the background, and all you can hear is, "Lids, Lids, Lids." At the time, I had no idea what had happened other than sensing dirt and blood. And then after a few minutes, Warren actually got to me, and when he reached me, I felt his knees or his legs on the back, and it gave me comfort. I couldn't recall him putting his hands around my head or trying to keep my head together as people were rushing in. As we got closer to the chopper that landed, I remembered it was the downwind of the jet fuel and being slid into the chopper. I remember Warren saying, "You'll be all good, mate, we'll see you soon." I don't think I fully grasped. I had lost sight. I tasted the blood that gave me the colour red. I could taste the dirt, which gave me the colour brown. When the morphine kicked in, I still don't think I realised that I was blind. When I came to, I was surrounded by my wife at the time, my family. And once again, I still don't think I had comprehended I'd lost my sight, because I could still see my wife, hear my father, which gave me a picture of my father. I could hear my mother, had an image of my mother. And I was just feeling comforted. From Germany, we ended up coming to Brisbane. We landed in Brisbane on the 11th, Remembrance Day. I think that's when I realised I lost my sight. When we landed in Australia, I couldn't make sense of everything what was going on, and I was in pain still. And the doctors were giving me things, and I was trying to rip off my bandages because I couldn't see. I remember the Qantas crew announcing me on the PA system and everyone giving a round of applause, but I couldn't see it. I couldn't take it in, and I couldn't understand why. I then arrived at the Prince Alexander Hospital. My brother was there. I couldn't see him. So I guess, to answer your question, I first realised when I landed in Brisbane. It sunk in when I got to the Prince Alexander, and that's when I started having to make choices. What keeps me going, or what drives me? the strongest reason. I want my children to understand, regardless of the choices you have made and the consequences, you need to keep pushing through. You need to live life. It's there to be lived, not experienced. That I keep trying to prove that I'm more able than when I was fully abled. I want my children to see me for who I am, regardless of who I was and what I had lost.